Oh, hello there. How art thou today? There's a lot of cinnamon in that. Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome to my first ever video. Super excited. My name is Melanie. I'm gonna be doing a fun little makeup look today. What I'm hoping to do with this channel is really help people who aren't good at makeup as well. I have been watching so many makeup channels lately on YouTube, and people who are either professionals or have been doing it for years. I've noticed like it can look really intimidating because sometimes they're going so fast it's like, wait, I don't know what you're doing. And I wanted to kind of like go step by step with like how I do things. I'm gonna try to show like even when I mess up so that you can feel better about like if you have the same issues. I will be having like other videos on this channel, like I'm actually gonna be bleaching my hair soon, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, let's get into it. So, my skin type, I'm very much like I live in Hollywood, so it's gonna be noisy. I don't plan on even trying to work around that. So, my skin type is like a mixture of dry and oily. If I use something that's too mattifying or drying, then it's gonna look dry like the Sahara Desert. So I've been working with so many different things trying to see like what works for me, and a lot of what helps is having a routine, you know, making sure you're washing your face, making sure you're moisturizing it, all that good stuff. The primer that I used to use was by Rimmel. It was like it was a mattifying like it was blah, 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 you know. It was supposed to like help hide pores, and so I did really like that one, but I wanted to try something else, you know, just to see if maybe something worked better. So recently I got this ColourPop Pretty Fresh primer. I like it, but because like as you can see it's like super liquidy, it sometimes makes my skin a little too oily. Like it'll make my foundation like really just sort of like slide off my face. So all I really do is use like half a pump, and then I make sure to really spread it. Honestly, if you have dry skin and oiliness isn't something that you struggle with, it's a great primer. Like it dries nicely, so it's like a little tacky so that it sticks to your foundation. Personally, I can't use too much of it because then I look like a greasy little French fry. Okay, so next for foundation, honestly this one is my favorite. It's the L'Oreal True Match. It's nice because it's mattifying, it's got SPF in it, but the thing is with this, I noticed it's a little too, it has like too much of a red undertone for my skin. Like it makes my skin look a little pink. So what I also got was this ColourPop No Filter foundation. It's on its own, it's too yellow for my skin, so I like to mix them both together, and it's a perfect combination for my skin tone. I really only use a little bit of foundation in general just because like you know, you watch so many people on Instagram and YouTube and they just like pack it on, and like on camera it looks great, but in person it just looks so cakey. So I try to avoid that. I mean, if you love it, please, you do you, boo-boo, but like I personally just can't stand all of that just sitting on my face all day, especially when you have oily skin like I do. It can be just a river of brown ickiness. So I just sort of like dot it all over like an old lady. Like I don't do anything, like I don't do any specific pattern or anything. I'm a mess. And as I go, I don't really like, you know, because I'm not layering it on, because I'm not packing it on like most YouTubers and like people on Instagram, I'm not like doing this and like creating a thick layer of it, I do kind of swipe it on my skin while patting it, just so it becomes more of a full coverage, but it's like not too thick, you know what I mean? It looks more natural, and that's that. Next, I actually really like this concealer. It is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. And I really don't use too much concealer either, just because of the same reason. It ends up just melting off my face anyway. So I just sort of, boop. I only put a few dots under my eyes like that. Nothing crazy. I do put a little bit on my nose and a little bit on my forehead. Now we blend. Okay, and this thing I'm using, it's not a beauty blender, like I know, but I think I got it at Target. It might be e.l.f. I don't remember. I just remember seeing it being like, oh, that's cheap, and grabbing it. So I'm just gonna pat it in. This is the one thing that I'm cool with, just like patting, because the point is to cover stuff, and it's the only way to really cover anything. Okay. That's looking cute. Looking so cute. Okay. Perfect, done. After that, I don't have like a regular setting powder. What I've been using, and I actually really love it, it's a ColourPop No Filter pressed powder. So it looks like this. And this is the shade, just medium. And so I really only take like a little bit, and I do a little bit at a time, and I just make sure I am setting at least under my eyes. And I do like to put most of the focus on my nose and right here, mostly where I get really oily. I don't like to put it all over my face because that's just my preference. Okay, and that's it. Not too much because we don't want to go crazy here. Okay. So next, eyebrows. This is the eyebrow stuff I use, and it used to have, it's all gone. It used to have a, oops, don't worry about it. It used to have a wax right there, but I used it all, and I honestly like wasn't a huge fan of it anyway. But I've actually been using aloe vera. This was like $10 for this whole thing. And if you already have it for like sunburns or anything, like super easy. I usually just put a little bit on, I don't know if you can see that, a little bit on my hand. I'll take my little spoolie. I'll just sort of dip it in, just get a little bit on there. And I like to just go ahead and brush it through, just like that.
So go ahead and just cool.
And I'll just let that dry for a bit because I know aloe vera can be a little bit watery. And I'm taking the lighter brown shade, that one, and I am putting that one through my whole eyebrow. So taking the light brown, I'll just sort of go lightly through. And I like to aim for going like right inside the lines rather than outside it, because that's what's gonna make your eyebrow too large.
Go ahead and boo 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 boo. Okay. So yeah, just lightly going through it. Just like la 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 la. I made that too big. Okay. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. So after I go through it, I like to brush through again just to sort of move the color around just a bit. And I'll go ahead and take that darker brown, that one.
Go ahead and take that. And I'll use it to really define the shape of the brow, but I won't, like, you know, take it through. If that makes any sense. Sometimes I make my eyebrows just a little long for no reason, but that's okay. Okay, and then just...
Sorry if I'm blocking my face. I'm trying not to. This is all new to me. Okay. So just like that, and I'll go ahead, I still have the aloe vera on my hand, so I'll go ahead and take that again and really brush through and redefine the hair in my eyebrows, the 5 eyebrow hairs that I have. Just go ahead and swoopity swoop through my hairs. I'm so sorry, excuse me. What do y'all think? Today, I'm working with a palette I just bought, which I'm like super obsessed with. It is called Take Me Back to Brazil. It's by BH Cosmetics, and they're cruelty-free, vegan, and they're honestly super affordable. So like, this is the one product that I'll really spend a lot of money on, to be honest, is eyeshadows, because I just get so obsessed with the colors and all of that. And the fact that BH Cosmetics is super affordable is just amazing. And when I actually went online, I noticed that they were actually really inexpensive. So I got super excited and I checked, and this one right now is 50% off, and it's actually only $10. So if you're looking for more colors and you don't have them and you want something more affordable, I definitely recommend. It's very rainbowy. But today I'm going to focus on a more blue look to match my sweater and my background. So I'm going to be using this little flat brush, and I'm dipping into this one right here. And I'm going to be doing
that, like, you know that, like, eyeliner thing people have been doing where it's like, you know?
I'll show you, but basically I'm doing it with the eyeshadow, and you're gonna see. So I'm gonna take that color and I'm just putting it right here, and I'm really gonna pack it on
just like that.
I'm shaking so much. I had a energy drink before this, so now I'm like, oh, like a neurotic squirrel. Okay. And just really patting it. Okay, and then I'm going out like this. I know, like I said, everyone's been doing this with eyeliner, like those beautiful pastel eyeliners, those like bright colors. And I feel like when you use shadows, it gives you more variety, just because you can buy a palette like this with like rainbowy colors, and it gives you the option to use whatever you want. So I'm just lightly swiping to get the shape. But you don't want to swipe too much when you're doing this, because I've made that mistake where if you're doing it and you're going too quickly and then you're like dragging it on your skin and it bounces back, you're gonna mess up the line you're trying to create. So it really just takes a lot of patience and just going very slowly.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go over this again after I'm done with the whole eye look. This is just to get the shape that I want. So now I'm gonna take this, like, this is a cute little I like that it has two sides. But I'm gonna take this side with a little rounded end. It's a little fluffy. And I'm going to be taking this color right here, if you can see that. I'll be taking that, just getting it on the brush. And I'm gonna be putting it right there. I'm not doing anything crazy, just slowly packing it in and pulling it out towards the front of the lid, if that, the like inside of the lid, you know? And I'm just gonna keep building on that. Sorry if I'm like, my angles are weird. Okay, just doing that, taking it slow. Now I know a lot of more experienced makeup people will say to do your eye makeup with your eyes open, which like I totally agree with, just because if you're doing it closed and you open your eye, if you have like eyes like mine and you're doing something in the crease, then you open it and it's just like gone. You don't want that to happen. So like I like to do that when I'm placing something for the first time, but then afterwards I'll like close my eye and do that so that I can like really color the whole thing and I'm not like missing anything, and that there's not like any color just sort of sitting in any creases. Just go ahead and perfect. How's that so far? That's what we got. I'm going to take, I guess, the same brush, but I am gonna wipe it off, and then I'm gonna take this color right here. I'm gonna take that same little rounded brush and put it more like in the center right here. And again, just swiping it closer to the inner corner of my eye. Just like that. Okay. I'm gonna take this flat end of the brush. I'm gonna be dipping into this like bronzy color here, this one. And I'm actually gonna wet my brush first. That really helps with shimmers, because sometimes I know like with shimmers, especially if they're chunky and you like try to put them on, it just, there's so much fallout and it'll get like all over the under your eye. So when you wet the brush, it just kind of helps it to like stick. And you don't want to swipe, you want to really just like pack it on lightly like that and pack it on into place. And once you get the color on your eye, then you can sort of swipe it if you want.
Go over it a little, get a little bit more pigment going. Ooh, yes. Yes.
And so see, I don't know if you could see it, but there's like a slight like patchiness here, and that's because I was dragging across. So what I'm gonna do is retake this side and just sort of buff it out so that it mixes, and it'll mix with the blue nicely. See, just like that. So I'm gonna add a little bit more of the dark blue again to just sort of really pack in the color here. Make it stand out just a bit more. And I'll sort of blend it in with the, I don't know if you saw that. I'm gonna go back with this other pencil where I had the very light like teal on it, and I'm going to build up that line a bit more now that I've got my eyeshadow look on it. So just like so. And I'm going to take that same blue that I was just using, and I'm going to put it right under my eye right there. And this one I'm kind of doing a little patting motion, so again I don't get crazy fallout and it won't like go all over my cheek. If that's something that happens to you and it's like really hard for you to avoid, what you can do is get like your setting powder and really just like pack it on here and don't wipe it off. That way when you get the fallout from the eyeshadow, you can just swipe it off. Swipe away your problems. So what I'm going to take now is the highlighter that they have at the bottom, and I'm putting it on this little brush, and I'm just going to swipe that on the inner corner of my eye. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh my god. Shh, I hit an eye mocha. We won't talk about it. And I'm just gonna go ahead and drag that under my eye a little as well. Just sort of la 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 la. Just like that. I'm just gonna put a little bit more because I really like it. And I'm actually gonna take a bit and put it right up here under my eyebrow, just to sort of highlight it, make it stand out just a little more. Perfect. I'm gonna take my mascara. It's the e.l.f. waterproof length and volume mascara. I can't read. Length and volume mascara. It's only a few dollars, so it's perfect if you're trying to save money, and it works really well. So I'm going to take that and swipe it onto my lashes.
Okay. We get the corner there. And get under. And then usually I like to let it dry a bit.
I'm not a huge fan of using fake lashes just because I'm uncoordinated for that. So I just like to stick with my mascara because it's good enough for me. It's good enough for the world. Cool. And that is the first eye. So I'm going to go ahead and do the second one off camera, and I'll be right back. Other eye is done now. Tease queen. Oh my god. So next I'm going to like bronze and contour with my little e.l.f. contour palette. I've never, sorry, that was a loud sniff. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna take the darkest shade, this one, because I am more tan. So I'm taking that one and I'm going to contour with that one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take a little bit, just that much, and just really put it in the hollows of my cheek, and that's kind of it. I'm gonna slowly drag it down. My hair's in the way, I'm sorry. But I'm just gonna drag it down, and the direction you want to go is like towards the corner of your mouth. So to visualize it, just use a brush, but that's the direction you're gonna go in with it. And I like to use the fluffier brushes just because I feel like it really makes it more natural when you're doing it, because you don't want anything too sharp of a line. And I'll just sort of buffer it a little like that. See? So it's just super light, it's nothing crazy. And I'll go ahead and do that to the other side. Okay. Perfect. And then I'll go ahead and take the lighter brown shade on this side. And I like to use that as more of a bronzer. So I'll go ahead and take, again, just a little bit of it, and I will circle it like this here and just sort of blend it in to add some color back to my skin. I like to do this after doing the eye look just in case if I have like fallout from doing all the colors. I'd be upset if I ruined all of this work just because of that, so I like to wait until after. But again, do what makes you happy. Do whatever floats your boat. I'll just go ahead and put some on my forehead. Nothing crazy. Again, I'm still using that like medium brown shade. And I like to use a little bit, yes. I like to use a little bit of it to really define my jaw, because I kind of got two chins, so I like to make it look like I'm a little less of a round chubby face. La 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 la. Not saying anything bad about it. I love all my chins. Just saying, you know, sometimes I just want to hide the other one a little bit more. So just do that a little bit. I'm sorry, I'm sniffing. I don't know why I'm like this, and it's loud. I'm gonna take so I'm taking this brush. It's fluffy. It's a nice little like angled blush. Who am I? Brush. It's an angled brush, but it's fluffy. So I'm taking that, and I'm gonna take the darkest shade and just lightly get some on there. If I feel like it's too much, I'll just tap the top. And I'm gonna lightly just dot it here, and then I'll start dragging it down my nose like that. So it's not too dark, but it'll add definition. I'll just sort of go down. And that's really the only like nose contour I'll do. And like right here. Next, I'm gonna do blush now. The blush I use is ColourPop, and the color is Drop of a Hat. It's part of their Super Shock Cheek collection. I'm so proud I said that right. So anyway, it is more of a cream. It's not really a powder. So if you can see, that has like these really beautiful like gold flecks in it. Because this is more of a cream, I do use my finger. I know some people are super opposed to that, so like you can use a brush. But because it is a cream, it's kind of hard to work with a brush sometimes. If you're skilled at that and you can do it, by all means. So I just put a little bit, I actually put a lot. I put a lot on my finger, but I'm putting a little on my face. So I'm just sort of dotting that in like that. Nothing crazy, and I'll do the other side. Do need a little bit more. And I'll just, oh, I messed up there. I'll just dot that on like that. So I'm not swiping, just because if I'm getting too much on my finger, it is gonna look a little crazy. Because it's gonna look too pigmented, especially, I don't know, just, you know, I'm not a big fan of crazy pink blush. Like, I like a little bit, don't get me wrong, but I don't like when it's like, I don't like looking like I'm sunburned. So that's just my preference. If you love doing it, please, like, you do you. It's beautiful on some people. It really looks great on some people. I just think I look ridiculous with it, so I don't do it. So I'm actually gonna use the highlighter that's in here. So I'm gonna go with this highlight right here. So I'm gonna go with that. And again, just because this is how I am, I'm gonna use my finger and swipe it on there. So I'm putting like a good amount. And I'm just gonna go ahead and tap it on, and then sort of like blend it. Do the same thing to this side. Just tap it. I'm gonna take a little bit more again and just boop the nose. Exclamation point. That's a little much. A little crazy. So I'm gonna just take my brush and sort of buff it out. There we go. Almost done. Final step to my process is lips. So let's see. I'm gonna continue with this whole blue look, but I am gonna start off with black. The color is Leather. It's actually a Tattoo Junkie, so it's legit just black. Tattoo Junkie, I actually like love. They have really cool like lip colors, especially if you're into like glitter. They have tons of options, super affordable. They're great. So I'm gonna take the black and go ahead and slap that on my face. So I'm giving that a little second to dry. That one does come out matte when it's by itself. This particular color does come with like a little glitter thing. It's somewhere, but it's like a nice like black greeny color. But for today I'm just using that. I'm not using the glitter that comes with it. But once it's kind of dry, now I'm gonna use this really cool blue Smashbox color. It's called Iced Out, and I'm just gonna put that on top. I didn't want to use it by itself because it's such like a royal blue. I kind of wanted something a little bit deeper, so I'm going with the black and this over it. So I'm not done yet because I'm gonna go crazy today. So now that I've got my base for my lip color, wait, let me make sure there's not on my teeth. All clear. So now that I got that done, I'm gonna use this glitter that I got with a different color from Tattoo Junkie. Color is Sugar. It's this white glitter. It actually comes out more gold because it has like gold flecks in it. Like, you'll see. Just hold on. So I'm just sort of patting it on, and then I'll like do that so that it spreads out more evenly and isn't all just collected in one spot. Last but not least, what?
I see. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to me.
Last but not least, I'm gonna use the Urban Decay All Nighter as a setting spray. So I'm just gonna hopefully not look ridiculous. And that is it. So what do y'all think? How do you like it? I would love to hear any comments you have, whether they're negative or positive. Anything I can do to improve my channel and my videos going in the future, like, I'd really appreciate any feedback you have. And if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much. It means so much to me. I look forward to making more videos for you guys. And yeah, have a good day and live your life. And I don't know what else to say. So, bye.